Hey everybody, welcome back to Greatest Good Tarot. Hope you're doing well and trying to keep out of mischief. At least try, please. This is a slightly different video today because obviously, as majority of you should know by now, I've been working on some stuff, and because I've been just following my nudges, my downloads, my information, all that kind of stuff. And I think it's time to kind of just open Pandora's box a little bit. Not everything, but just enough to kind of keep you on track of what's going on. Hopefully you'll be partaking in some of it and helping and supporting and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Now, what we're going to call this, the umbrella of it, what we're going to call this is Greatest Good Projects. Okay. The idea of Greatest Good Projects is simply that. Seeing a need, seeing a problem, and trying to give solutions or at least support the community or whatever way as best as possible. Now, there's two main issues here that I have seen. There's multiple, but I think the fundamental core issues right now, and then we can spread out further afield later on, is funding over here. And can you tell I'm dyslexic? And information. So what I mean by funding is, unlike the big boys and girls, we don't have a pot of money sitting in an Icelandic bank account. It always seems to be in Iceland for some reason. I don't know why. Like the councils have their backup fund up there. All sorts of people have their backup funds up there. And quite frankly, it's very difficult for you, me, as we like to refer on this channel, a scum class, to get motivated, moving and shaking and doing things, because fundamentally we don't have a pot to be able to kind of invest from. Okay, so part of this is about funding, trying to find solutions for that. Also, a dear friend of the channel, Richard Vobes, well, I'll leave a link down below to his channel. Go and subscribe. He has once again been demonetized recently, and that was kind of a wake-up call, because he is doing interviews that primarily interviews and opinion pieces and stuff like that, which it's not his views. He's just giving a platform. And YouTube has decided that certain things are just a bit too kind of controversial and have removed, demonetized his entire channel. Okay. And so at the moment, he is quite literally living off donations. Okay. So part of this is funding. Okay, finding solutions to the problem with that way. The other part of this is communication, information, quality information. Where do we get it? Because unfortunately at the moment, as we have seen very recently with the farmers, I was going to say strikes there. They're just talking about strikes as I record this. But the farmer protests, from the pensioners, winter fuel cuts and all that kind of stuff. It is very much manipulated by whoever the media is owned by. And we've known it for ages. For example, Talk TV, I think they're called, they're owned by Murdoch. Okay, they're no better than the Sun newspaper, in my humble opinion. Okay, and in fact, with Sky News, also owned by Murdoch, which is closing down soon, Talk TV is actually the cheaper way of doing news. So that's where Sky B and all that kind of shenanigans, that's where they're going for their future. That's what's going on there. So it's the same old chestnuts doing the same old things. Okay. On the other side, we have people like the Times, the Telegraph. They're all got their own, and the Guardian is the obvious one. They've all got their own kind of political parties that they're hobnobbing with. And what I would like to try and create here with your help, with the community, to start with is a neutral news location. Okay. And we'll be getting on that in a second. So the idea is with funding is creating things that people can use every day, knowing that the profits from using that service, getting those items from that service, etc., is going into greatest good projects and is got good outcomes. Okay, that's the idea. So the first one that we've set up, and it's, I'm quite proud of it, is miniblast.com. Miniblast.com. Now, if you use promo code GGTarot, all one word, at checkout, you get 10% off your first order, right? That's simple as that. But for your usage of that for your own website, for your own company's website, you can transfer everything across to that system over there using cPanel or WordPress or whatever you want to do over there. There's multiple options and stuff. You know that every time you're paying for the service over there, it's going to greatest good projects. Okay, so we can invest into other sexy stuff. It's not coming to the channel here. It's going to greatest good projects. Okay, there's a big distinction here. There's very, very important big distinction. Okay, so as a start, okay, if you miniblast.com, and if you get the promo code, I can't even spell promo code GGTarot, there you go, 10% off, okay, at checkout. Please go and use it. Okay, so we could use the profits from there to fund things like what we're going to be talking about next, which is the big boy. Okay, just so you know, miniblast.com is where greatestgoodtarot.com is hosted and managed and stuff like that. Okay, and the issues that we had on the website over there, greatestgoodtarot.com, was me causing mischief. Miniblast.com is actually run by professionals who have teamed up and working together, right? So just so there's a distinction. Greatestgoodtarot.com, the glitches are by design by me. Miniblast.com, actual professionals, actual service admin systems and people like that. People with beards actually deal with that kind of stuff, okay? And they've got telephone numbers and you can call them 365 days a year and all that kind of stuff, right? You can find out more information over there. This is not a pitch on that necessarily. It's just to tell you what's going on, how we're filling this funding thing, okay? Now, information. And I did mention it yesterday, but we'll try and explain it a little bit here about what NewsWiki is all about. Now, NewsWiki, there's a theme here, is also on miniblast.com servers, just not ones in the UK. NewsWiki is an open source news platform, okay, where everybody who sign up and contribute and stuff like that are citizen journalists working together to get neutral information out. This is not a soapbox. This is not a place for personal opinions. This is not a place for just opinions in general, because we have enough of that in the normal news, okay? Everyone's got a column, everyone's tweeting out and all that kind of jazz. This is fact. This is information. The reason why the logo is what it is, and if you've noticed what it actually is, well done you, bonus points, is to join the dots together from a lot of research and stuff. All the data about what's going on is over multiple websites, multiple different authorities and organizations and the EU and all that kind of, and UN and blah, blah, blah and stuff like that. And it's so kind of purposefully, some people may say, distributed that no one knows where it is. The idea of NewsWiki is to bring it all back together again and actually link between this affects this because of this. Okay, that's the plan. This is where, and I've written it here, where we can share stories, data, knowledge, and expertise. I have noticed, and I'm quite proud of our Greatest Good Village, how we have so many different backgrounds, different pieces of information, knowledge base, understanding, skill set, etc. It is phenomenal. And I think we can really get going on this collectively. Okay. I know it's a big ask. I know it's a big project, but I have put my money where my mouth is and basically paid for the server in a vast, like far distant place, to ensure that we can get going. Okay. So this is not party political, blah, blah, blah. We need to be better. We need to show how it is actually done for news. And this is what NewsWiki is all about. How I envision it, okay, how I envision it is currently there are 3 types of kind of information that we would like to get going on. We can expand into other areas, but we need to get going somewhere, okay? And I'm just moving to a different page here on NewsWiki so that I can refer to it as I talked about it. So there's reference pages, okay? There are event pages, and there are date pages, okay? So the idea is, as there's much noise going on in the background, I don't know if you can hear that. The idea is that, for example, if we have a page over here concerning, I don't know, something that Starmer's done, right? Starmer's page, okay? His own personal page. That could be linked to the Labour, yeah? It's also linked down here to kind of the gov right now, government. It could be linked to a page that's tracking his travels, okay, that we can actually, and this is I'm really hoping we'll be ready to go with it, is I've already asked some people to set up a system where they can calculate how much his carbon footprint has been since he's been in Prime Minister, because for such an eco-friendly government with their Miliband going nuts with windmills, it would be interesting to see, because he's never in the country, it seems. So it would be interesting to have do you see what I'm saying? These reference pages, okay, each one will have kind of an introduction, like a summary, a bit more detail, background, that kind of stuff. And at some point, we'll have a timeline. Now, that timeline could be linking to an event. Okay, now what is an event? It's what we would call like a news story. Okay, so the event is, okay, Starmer has gone to COP 29 or whatever, or he's gone to... he's in Brazil as I record this at G20 or whatever it is. Okay, so we've got a G21 down here as well, and there's like they're all linked together. So when you go to Starmer, you've got a timeline of, okay, he was here, he was here, he was here, he was here, and it links to those individual things. Now, date pages are currently going to be month. Okay, so November, December, January, so on and so forth. And this event here will also be listed on there. So we'll be able to go, okay, November 2024, Bosch, okay, these are all the things that happened and are linked as a quick guide of what's happening, okay? And that's the plan right now, to just get us going. I'm sure we'll find better solutions to actually use the data once it's installed and you like making it and all that kind of stuff. But right now, just let's get going. Okay. So these are the 3 pages and why we're doing this way. So the events on this is just an example on a month. There may be a link to something that the government said. There may be a link to another event if it's farmers, this, that, and the other. But what I really like about this opportunity is, look at me being professional with a little rubber, is that, for example, for farmers, I'm hoping that they could collaborate together and actually have multiple pages all kind of linking to each other concerning like much more detailed information about how does DEFRA affect them? How does the funding of a farm actually work? So we actually have resources collaborating, maybe one for cattle, or maybe they're different paragraphs for different, like sheep, cattle, chickens, cereal farmers, that kind of thing. So each one is giving a bit more detail. So we know we've got it because we've got the knowledge within the community. We're sharing it together. We now know. Okay. So that's the idea. That's the vision. Okay. So that we're all clubbing together and we're able to facilitate this sharing of truth. Now, how is this different? Okay, you already got. Probably you're already questioning. Excuse me. That's how the question is. Excuse me. How is this different from Wikipedia and stuff like that? And I wish it isn't the case. Okay. So the reason why this is important, and this is one of many projects. Hopefully, we'll be able to start funding with miniblast.com and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and other funding options here. But the main difference between Wikipedia and NewsWiki is Wikipedia will only accept sources from kind of secondary sources. What does that mean? So basically, it's news articles reported by the media. Okay, so, and even then, it's only from certain sources. Okay, so even though it's like, oh, we're, neutral voiced, blah, 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 they've banned a phenomenal amount of sources, for example, and you kind of can understand why a little bit because of the rah they do. But for example, the Daily Mail, the New York Post, which is basically the American equivalent, places like that, they're banned completely. You will not find a link to Daily Mail on Wikipedia. Okay. Now, we are a neutral voice. So you can, because data is important and citing evidence and data is fundamental of what we're going to be doing, you can link to, for example, the Daily Mail or New York Post or whatever. However, we are a neutral source. So if you can dilute through the shenanigans, shall we say, of the voice of Daily Mail and stuff, to actually bring it into our world, so it's neutral, here are the facts, so be it, fair enough. The other thing, what we will be doing, which Wikipedia flat out refuses to do, is first sources. So if there's a PDF, and there are many, a PDF as an example on a council website concerning something or other, that would be considered absolutely fine to refer to and actually quote from as a source, a valuable source of the data on NewsWiki. Because that's evidence. Fundamentally, as the rule is, we have to be neutral, and it's evidence-based reporting, evidence-based articles. So we can refer to the NHS website. We can refer to a PDF on the WEF website. We can refer to X, Y, and Z. Do you see what I'm saying? Because that's the primary source. That's what they're saying. And we can then bring that data in and then link it to the things that it is affecting and why it's affecting. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's the primary difference between Wikipedia and what we're doing. They go through a filter, and it's selected filter sources. We absolutely fine. We want to go direct and actually have evidence-based information. The only other thing to say is, even though we're going for evidence-based information as references for each article, so everything is backed up with data and information, so we're all protecting our own backsides from doing it. Things that will not be considered are personal blogs. Now, if it's a blog on an institution, about the BBC, or some sort of college or university or something like that, fair enough. It's not a personal blog. You see what I'm saying? It's not owned by just one individual. It is something more. And there will be, as we expand, there'll be other ways that we can back up data and information, but we have to always link to source. If we are using screenshots from Twitter, if we're using Twitter as an example, we want to take a screenshot of it as well, including the date at the bottom, silly little things like that, so that we've always got a backup. So we can put the screenshot within the article, and the link to the original is in the references cited. Do you see what I'm saying? It's that kind of thing where it's all evidence-based. We're not making it up. This is not a kind of naming and shaming thing, which is mainly in media right now. This is factual information. This is what they're actually doing. This is how it's affecting these industries. And I'm really hoping that the farmers would come together, and the nurses and the doctors will come together in areas, and so on and so forth. And then we suddenly have this big, huge form of real data and information that others can then become educated on. The one thing we are not fundamental here, the one thing that we are not here at NewsWiki, here, as it's a place, is that we're not doing leaks. Okay, there's WikiLeaks for that. We don't want it, right? We saw what happened to Julian Assange. Not many others are doing it as well. We ain't into that. Okay, that is not what we are doing. We need actual publicly available, in the public domain, data that is available, but it's hidden away. And if anything, this is kind of a glorified Easter egg hunt of bringing it all back together again. Okay, so this is where we're starting with Greatest Good projects. And as we move on, there will be other things, maybe not as big as NewsWiki, maybe smaller things to help the community in different ways. There will also be other things that we'll be promoting that you will know are not sponsors. They're not ads. They are funding Greatest Good projects. The profits go to projects, then the projects can produce other things. Okay, there will be a way also, because it's going to get expensive very quickly. There will also be ways to directly contribute, if you so wish, monetarily on a one-off or monthly basis thing over there. So it's separate funds and stuff like that. But this is where we're starting. We've got to start somewhere, and this is where I think is the fundamental areas that need to happen. Okay, so funding-wise, we will be independent as more and more come online. I am talking to a company that does kind of tea and coffee and stuff like that, based in Yorkshire, shockingly enough. Small business that may be teaming up so that you can buy supplies from them or through us, kind of thing. This partnership, and once again, those will go to projects. That the profits from that will go to projects that will fund the development of many other different things. Okay, So I hope I've explained it well, because there's a lot to this and there's more kind of that I'm not talking about. But right now, I think this is the fundamental parts. Okay. So what I hope to do is, for example, NewsWiki will be able to fund itself to some extent, which then its profits will then go back to projects, will then become back down to something else that we can develop. Do you see what I mean? Maybe kind of and I'm pulling stuff out my flappy bot here, but maybe it could be a modern day radio station for ourselves, or a modern. Do you see what I mean? It's like we have flexibility then. We can then fund also supporting. And this is, like I said, I haven't spoken to him. I don't know. I'm just giving an example here. But it would be amazing to kind of hire someone like Richard Vobes, who is caught in mischief right now. And then, to do something maybe for NewsWiki or this radio station thing that I've just used as an example, whatever. So we're trying to support valuable voices in the community, as well as foundational projects that really do help out. Okay. So, because without information, we're dead in the water. Without having this resource, I think we're just going to be dead in the water. Okay. So yeah. Oh wow. I've flapped my face for a bit. So yeah, that's basically the overview. One thing to call out right now is that if you are already trusted users of places like Wikipedia, then please get in contact with me. DM me with a screenshot of your account logged in, obviously, of Wikipedia, wherever you are, on X, on Twitter. The link is down below, so that we can set you up as so we can hit the ground running. Okay. And then we've got people who know what they're kind of doing, helping and guiding and supporting others that are contributing as well. Do you see what I mean? Because it's based on a trust basis, the website. The more you contribute, the more you are trusted by the website, the more activities you'll be able to do. So that way it doesn't get sabotaged, it doesn't get vandalized, as they call it. And it's all kind of all on the up and up. Okay. Oh, excuse me. I just had to cough there. Just to give you an example, the reason why, just because some people will ask, the reason why let me just go to a page. Okay, let's go to about. So, the reason why I've chosen a wiki is because built in there's a discussion button. It's red right now because this doesn't have a discussion page. Okay, but this will people will be able to chit chat, communicate back and forth in a nice, friendly manner. Subtle hint, subtle hint. So there's like the community is working together. It is all above board. It is all public, so you can view history, for example, and here you go. This is just me committing to some different changes and stuff like that, how I've done it, all that jazz. So everything will have revisions, everything's backed up, everything is there and sorted. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is the reason why I thought the wiki is actually brilliant, perfect for this kind of shenanigans. The final thing I will say is this. There will be, once we've paid off everything and stuff like that, and we're funding everything and the servers are paid for and all that good stuff, we will also be contributing to the projects that we use. So there will be, if we've got money left over, there will be a donation made to the Wiki Foundation, as an example. Love them or hate them, they're paying and producing the software that we're using, and so we want to support its development. There will be a donation given to WordPress. I love WordPress, which is also an open source thing, paying for its development. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just a money grab. whatever's left over, it's going to the things that we use as a community to keep it going and keeping it developed. So we're all benefiting from that. All right. So I hope that makes more sense. I hope that kind of resonates and kind of you understand the madness of this. And if there are questions, please put them down below. Obviously not suggestions for readings on this one. Please try and keep it purely for greatest good projects. So that I know where they are. And I will try and answer them as much as I can, but you know, everyone knows how many comments I do, but I will keep a special eye out on this video. Okay. So yeah, until next time, where we do this crazy shenanigans all over again. Take care. Look after yourself. Be well. And thank you for your company. Speak to you soon. See you later. Ta-ra.